This year in 2023, I paid 23 grand for coaching, and in this video I'd like to share some of the things which happened in my business and which happened in my mindset as a result. Basically, the number one thing which changed between me a year ago and me today is how realistic I saw the difference between businesses doing 5 grand a month and those which are doing 500,000 a month. First, for example, if you would meet me a year ago, I was having like little clue on how exactly you build out the business to such figures. However, when you meet a lot of founders that are doing 5-10 times the amount of revenue that you are doing as a result of you participating in these coaching programs, you really shift your mindset, because you then, instead of you having to guess, how on earth do I get this revenue to become 10 times higher, you actually can see what exactly other people are doing who are also have the 2 eyes, 2 legs, 2 arms, what they are doing to get their businesses produce 10 times as much outcome. I thought that there is some magic sauce to it and some secrets, but practically it is really about the amount of time that you put in and with which discipline you are working, combined with the number of inputs you're doing. Because now I understand that practically the difference between a business that is doing, say, 5K a month and again, $500,000 a month is amount of inputs that they're doing and amount of scientific testing that they're doing at each period of time. Because if we take a business that's doing 5K MRR, they would be potentially sending a handful of emails, maybe a couple hundred a week. They would be occasionally following up on people. They would post 1 piece of content, maybe 2 pieces of content each week inconsistently. And that's how they are staying at such numbers. However, if we would look at the business that's doing 100 times more, we would find that they are currently running campaigns from 200 domains, a real case by the way, 200 domains, posting on all platforms 3 to 5 content pieces every single day, and long reads going out, podcasts going out, plus they are putting 30K just in ad spend every single month. And aside from that, the business which I have a reference of, they were also collaborating with 200 affiliates which were also getting them which were also getting them inbound customers. And when you're doing all of that, it's really hard for you not to be getting results which would be times and times larger than the ones which are happening today. The second thing which I learned from spending 23 grand on coaching was that you should not be afraid to go more niche. I thought that, if I go and niche down to only B2B SaaS founders, certain revenue amount, scaling through demos, then I would be out of customers. In reality, it's actually not the case, and that's why I preach the same thing to clients I'm working with right now, that when you think that there is just not enough market in case we niche down so much, actually there is still more leads than you can imagine. And that's why it's quite dangerous for you to operate in this scarcity mindset, which I would have at the time, that you think, this other person is serving this niche, we need to be fighting for demand and so on. But practically every single year there are so many businesses registering and so many businesses growing that you literally can be sending tens of thousands of emails each couple of weeks and not go out of your market. Because if you are worried about that, then you need to solve the issue regarding your skill of scraping those leads. Because same was for me, that when I knew only how to get a couple thousand email contacts for a few weeks, sure, I was very disappointed each time we would receive negative reply, because I thought, market is ending, what do I do in a month from now when this email list is over? But practically this never happened. And after I was worried about it for 1 time, 2nd time, 5th, 10th, after 10 times, I would actually see that, look, you can go through the same lead list every 2 months. And aside from that, you can be also looking into other platforms and finding lead lists there. And in such combination, there are actually way more leads than you can imagine. I tested it on my business, and that's how the more niche I kept going, the better results I kept getting. I was worried that if I only serve B2B SaaS founders who are selling high ticket, say at least 1K a month subscription and all the way to, I don't know, 50 grand, 100 grand month contracts, I would be out of the market because I just only have like 100 leads. And it turned out that it's really not the case. The third most important lesson that I learned from putting this amount into coaching this year was me figuring out that you actually need to let your efforts compound. And what I mean by that if we take an example from my story, that a couple years back I was trying to grow a note-taking app, and I was reaching out to different people who I thought would benefit from this app for note-taking. However, I would send maybe 50 to 100 emails in a week, get just a handful of replies, and I would just be so disappointed because back then I didn't know how to automate any of that. And it was just so much effort as I thought, and which was not getting me any ROI and was not leading me anywhere. If only someone would tell me how much it really takes to get the first 10 customers and the first 100 customers, and if only I had way more realistic expectations, then I believe I would never have given up on a couple of ventures which are now way over for me. Same was for me building an e-commerce store like this, selling dog toys. I now understand that the thing was working perfectly. It's just there was no mentor that could tell me, look, Denis, you just need to now go 100x in volume, and that's how you're going to get a 100 million a month business. Well, now I'm working with a CEO, a couple advisors who are helping me out in terms of that, saying, Denis, and I can tell you the same. Yes, potentially there could be such thing as a bad funnel, but practically as long as you are having a repeatable way for you to be converting customers, can you actually call a funnel bad or not? Or for each niche, you just need to find a formula that works. I thought that if you're getting less than one positive reply per 100 emails, you're having an awful campaign and this must be fixed. Unless I met a lead gen guy who is doing 50 to 70K a month with his lead gen agency, and he showed me how he's growing his venture and couple other businesses, his clients, by having 0.25, 0.5% positive reply rate. And I was like, wait, but these are awful reply rates. How can you be scaling anything like this? And he told me that, well, if in this case, with this niche, this offer, at this period of time, this is the numbers you're getting, then you need to simply adjust to them and compensate by going up in volume. And I was sure that, okay, you cannot scale a campaign where you're having this amount of people interested replies and this amount of negatives and so on. But I was confident that if you don't have proper numbers of your conversions, none of this is scalable. But this week I met a founder who told me, yes, they're getting decent numbers. And now, for example, there is even a case study which happened even this week, because I met a founder who came to me and complained that his numbers are awful, that he's only, for example, booking one meeting per each 200 emails. And they're doing that from sending from one domain and have 2 backup domains. And I asked him, why do you think that these numbers are bad? And he said, well, but we cannot scale like this. And practically his assumption was wrong. It's frankly that his numbers are fine, because booking one meeting per 200 to 300 emails, it works as long as you're selling high ticket. It was not the copy that is a real bottleneck for him, but rather the amount of volume that he is doing. Because if he can scale this up from one sending domain to 10, 20, 40, 60, and 100, or to 200 as a reference of business, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it all just works. And this is practically how he can get his business 10x and 20x up. It's sometimes not the tweaking of your copy and which particular numbers you're getting, but the actual volume of things that you're doing. finally, the bonus fourth thing which happened to me as a result of me investing this amount in my skills and learnings this year was me fixing my social circle. Because if you take my situation a couple years back, I was not a part of any high ticket community. I didn't have this many people who are on the same journey as me and so on. However, you participating in coaching programs, at least the way it happened for me, allowed me to get in touch with hundreds of other people who are similar age as me on the similar journey, trying to go for similar goals in their life. And this is very inspiring because when you meet these people in real life, it just becomes so much easier to see that you're not alone on this journey. And when you see that similar guys like you just basically put couple months more effort into a certain thing and got a certain outcome, a result that you also want, it just makes everything way easier. Because then, instead of you having to always question what you're doing and you having to keep wondering, okay, do I continue this campaign? Do I do this or that? It turns out that you simply need to be focusing on one thing that works for a certain period of time, usually a couple of years. And if you do it right, then it works. So keep increasing volume, keep relying on campaigns that are generating you consistent results. Right, and these were some of the things which happened in my life as a result of me putting some money into coaching and as a result of me getting into different communities that accelerated my path forward. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.